Most of the Muslims, they know the basic things that we recite in our salah. The Surah Fatiha and the few verses of the Holy Quran, or the short surahs of the Holy Quran, which we recite in the salah. We Muslims, we recite it so mechanically that even if you wake up a Muslim from the middle of his sleep and ask him to recite Surah Fatiha, he can do it 100 miles per hour. It's mechanical. And because it is mechanical, only a minute portion of a mind is utilized in reciting the mechanical portion, which we know by heart. That is Surah Fatiha and the other verses of the Holy Quran. Most of us Muslims, since we are non-Arabs, we don't understand Arabic as a language. And because we don't understand what we are reciting in our salah, there are high possibilities of our mind wandering. Therefore, to prevent our mind from wandering, we should recite the Arabic portion and simultaneously recall the meaning of the things you are reciting in the salah. If you know English, recall the English translation. If you know Urdu, recall the Urdu translation. If you know Hindi, recall it in Hindi. If you know Marathi, recall it in Marathi. If you know Gujarati, recall it in Gujarati. Recall the meaning of the things you're reciting in the language you understand best. For example, when we recite Surah Fatiha, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, most merciful, most gracious. Maliki Yawmiddin, the master of the day of judgment. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een. Thee alone we worship, thee alone we ask for help. Ihdina siratal mustaqim, show us the straight path. Ihdina siratal mustaqim, siratal lazina an'amta alayhim, ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. The path of those who have earned thine favor, and of those whose path is not wrought, nor who go astray. When we recite the Surah Fatiha or the other verses in Arabic, simultaneously recall the meaning and your mind will not wander. Because, again, your mind is occupied in recalling the meaning of the Arabic portion that you're reciting in your salah. But after a few weeks or few months, even this becomes mechanical. Your mind is very powerful. You recite the Arabic portion and recall the meaning because the mind is very powerful, and again there are chances your mind will divert. But there are less chances because a little portion of your mind is occupied in reciting the Arabic portion and another portion of your mind is occupied in recalling the meaning. There are less chances it will divert, but yet it may wander. To prevent your mind from wandering, besides reciting the Arabic portion and recalling the meaning, you should even concentrate on what you are reciting and recalling. A human being cannot concentrate 100% on two different things. He can concentrate 50% on two different things, or 80%, 20%. But 100% on two different things, he can't concentrate. So the more you concentrate, the less your mind will wander. So to prevent your mind from wandering, you should recite the Arabic portion, recall its meaning, and concentrate on the meaning. Then inshallah, your mind will not wander. I started my talk by quoting a verse from the Holy Quran, from Surah Ankabut, chapter number 29, verse number 45, which says, Utlu ma uhiya ilayka minal kitabi, wa aqimis salata, inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. Which means, recite of what we have sent by inspiration of the book to thee, and establish regular prayers. For verily, prayers restrain you from shameful and unjust deed. The Holy Quran says that Salah restrains you from shameful and unjust deed. As I mentioned earlier, Salah is a sort of programming. It's a programming towards righteousness. And we Muslims, we are programmed 5 times a day in our Salah. And we ask for guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Show us the straight path. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the answers. He programs us towards righteousness. For example, the Imam, after Surah Fatiha, he may recite Surah Maida, chapter number 5, verse number 90, which says, Ya ayyuhal lazina amanu, O you who believe, innamal khamru wal maisiru, most certainly intoxicants and gambling, wal ansab wal azlamu, dedication of stones, divination of arrows, rishthum min amali shaitan, these are Satan's handiwork. Fashtanibu lalakum tuflihun. Abstain from these handiwork that you may prosper. Here we are being programmed in the Salah that you should abstain from intoxicants, from gambling, from idol worship, from fortune telling, because these are Satan's handiwork. The Imam, he may recite after Surah Fatiha, Surah Maida, chapter number 5, verse number 3, which says, Hurrimat alaykumul maitutu waddamu walahmul khinzir, wama uhilla li ghayrillah bih. Forbidden for you for food are dead meat, blood, the flesh of swine, and any food on which any name besides Allah has been invoked. Here we are being programmed in the Salah that the foods that you should never have, the forbidden foods are dead meat, blood, the flesh of swine, and any food on which any name besides Allah has been invoked on it. We are being programmed towards righteousness. The Imam, after Surah Fatiha, he may recite Surah Al-Isra, chapter 17, verse number 23-24, which says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained for you that you worship none but Him, and that you be kind to your parents. And if any one of them, or both of them, reach old age, do not say a word of contempt. Don't even say off to them. But address them with humility, and lower your wing of kindness to them, and pray to the Lord that have mercy on them as they cherished me in childhood. We are being programmed that we have to be good to your parents. And if any one of them, or both of them, reach old age, yet you should not even say off to them. We are being programmed in our Salah. The computer normally requires programming only once. But since the human mind has a free will of its own, which the computer doesn't have, the human beings have to be programmed regularly. Because the amount of wrong things we see around us in the society, like eavesdropping, bribing, cheating, robbing, alcoholism, drug addiction, molestation, there are high chances that our mind can get deprogrammed. Therefore, we have to be kept on being regularly programmed to keep us on the Sirat al-Mustaqim, on the straight path. Some people may ask that, why don't you offer Salah only once? Why offer 5 times a day? For a healthy body, a human being requires minimum 3 meals a day. If he has 1 meal a day, he will not have a very healthy body. Similarly, for a spiritual soul, a human being requires minimum 5 times of programming, 5 times of Salah. 1 is not sufficient. That's the reason we Muslims, we offer Salah 5 times a day. The Jews, they offer prayers 3 times a day, which is also mentioned in the Old Testament, in the book of Daniel, chapter number 6, verse number 10. We Muslims, we offer minimum 5 times salah every day. And it's a commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which has been given to all the Muslims. And it's mentioned in the Holy Quran in Surah Hud, chapter number 11, verse number 114. In Surah Isra, chapter 17, verse number 78. In Surah Taha, chapter number 20, verse number 130. And Surah Rum, chapter number 30, verse number 17 and 18. These few verses of the Holy Quran, they instruct the Muslims to offer salah 5 times a day. The 5 daily salahs which we Muslims should offer are the Fajr Salah, which begins from any time between the break of dawn till just before sunrise. The second is the Zuhr Salah, after the sun reaches its highest point, from the decline of the sun till the midpoint between noon and sunset. Third is the Asr Salah, after the Zuhr Salah ends until just before sunset. The fourth is the Maghrib Salah, immediately after sunsets till the end of twilight. And the Isha Salah, immediately after twilight, it can be offered before midnight. A Muslim should offer salah minimum 5 times a day,